This is a gaming PC for $15,000! Well, actually, it's a server, but it used to be a server for Andre, one of my subscribers, who sent me this beast! Huge thanks to him from me and my neighbors. We're really happy. But for me, this won't be a server. It's gonna be a gaming PC! For the build, I'll need 3 power supplies and a fire hose. And we'll also compare it with the regular high-end PC featuring an RTX 4090 and an Intel i9. The specs of this machine are just mind-blowing! It's a Dell PowerEdge R660. Let's take a look under the hood. The cover comes off really easily. Just turn the screw, lift the hatch, and it's off! I'd be lying if I said this thing doesn't look powerful. 2 CPUs, 8 high-performance fans, making sure no neighbor remains indifferent. There's so much RAM here that I could build an entire RAM disk. The construction is fully modular, which makes taking it apart much easier than a regular PC. Almost no cables, just connectors. Everything fits into designated slots and guides. There are 2 power supplies, both 1400 watt platinum rated. That means plenty of room for upgrades. There's even an extra high power fan here, but I don't understand. Why is there a riser 1 and immediately riser 4? Where are risers 2 and 3? Though, who cares? The main thing is to connect the GPU. This server has 32 sticks of DDR5 RAM, which sneakily changes color when removed. Each stick is 64 gigabytes and costs $265. Multiply that by 32. You get 2 terabytes of RAM worth $8,500. After seeing these numbers, my 64 gigabyte and a regular PC feels like a joke. Which color do you prefer? I like purple. I couldn't find a clear manual on how many turns to tighten the CPU cooler screws, so I'll count manually. The mounting system here is different from a standard PC. The screws need to be tightened in a cross pattern. I counted 3 turns per screw, with some needing 3.5. Next, I need to unlock the latches, or whatever they're called in technical terms. And here comes a surprise! I removed the cooler, and the CPUs are missing! What a disgrace for this price. 4,677 pins, and not a single CPU sitting on them. The sockets are massive. Just imagine the level of vibration if CPUs were actually in place. By the way, according to my calculations, the motherboard alone costs $3,500, and it doesn't even have RGB lighting. What a budget disgrace. False alarm, the CPUs were just sneakily stuck to the heatsink, and stuck pretty well, I must say. They're held in place by a specialized plastic frame, which itself is attached to the heatsink at 4 points. Plus, the thermal paste adds extra grip. Seems like they dumped an entire bucket of it in here. It's already drying up, so I'll need to replace it. I was going to scrape off the old paste with a spatula and apply a fresh layer to prove how great of an economist I am, but not today. Whoa, these CPUs are heavy. We've got a pair of Intel Xeon Gold 6448Y, each with 32 cores and 64 threads. Price, $3,500 each. Let's delid one and see what's inside. Alright, this is a tough nut to crack. Not opening that easily. Damn, why is this so hard? Alright, enough playing around. There, it's open. Just a couple of scratches. Nah, just kidding. This is a bronze dummy CPU for socket 3647 that I bought for pennies. You really thought I'd delid an actual CPU like this? Now, if I had a solder under the lid, that would be a real challenge. Here's a comparison of Xeon versus CPU on socket 1151. The difference is colossal. Why are server processors so much bigger compared to regular ones? The answer is obvious. Server processors have more of everything. And I'm not just talking about core count. They have more memory channels, more PCIe lanes, support for larger RAM volumes, and so on. A small processor simply can't fit everything this one has. By the way, I got MX6 thermal paste. I have no idea which one is usually used on these CPUs. I just saw people using this one, so I bought it too. The difference from MX4